What if I told you your skin starts aging decades before you see it in the mirror? Research shows that by the time most people hit their early 30s, their body's ability to produce collagen, the key protein that keeps skin firm, elastic, and youthful, has already begun to decline. And that decline, it's not slow. On average, we lose about 1% of our collagen production every year after 30. But here's the kicker. Environmental stress, poor sleep, elevated cortisol, and nutrient-poor diets can accelerate that loss even faster. Collagen isn't just about vanity or appearance. It's a structural powerhouse, the most abundant protein in your body. It supports your skin, yes, but also your joints, bones, blood vessels, and gut lining. When collagen breaks down faster than it's built, the effects ripple far beyond wrinkles. Stiffness in movement, slower healing, reduced metabolic resilience, and even psychological drag as we begin to feel older, not just look it. And while skincare companies flood the market with topical creams promising to restore youth, the real magic begins inside at the cellular level. Because the truth is, certain foods can stimulate your body's own collagen production. But not just any foods. I'm talking about specific nuts and seeds. Often overlooked but loaded with the micronutrients, amino acids, and polyphenols that your body needs to build collagen from the inside out. Today, we'll explore 3 of the most powerful anti-aging nuts and seeds, backed by clinical evidence that actively support collagen synthesis, reduce skin breakdown, and even help you counteract the effects of oxidative stress and inflammation, 2 major drivers of aging. And what's exciting is that each one isn't just a food, it's a tool, a lever you can pull daily to influence how your skin, joints, and connective tissue repair and regenerate. We'll break down what the science says, how these foods work in the body, and simple ways to start using them starting tonight. Because aging is inevitable, but how you age is not. If you're ready to unlock the anti-aging potential already hiding in your kitchen, let's dive in. Aging isn't just about lines on the skin. It's about structural loss. Collagen is the most abundant protein in the human body. It makes up roughly 75% of your skin and 30% of your entire protein mass. But by the time we hit 40, most people have already lost 10 to 20% of their collagen. And here's what's wild. This isn't just a passive decline. It's the result of biological processes that can either be accelerated or slowed down. One of the core triggers, oxidative stress. Here's what the research shows. Oxidative stress, caused by poor diet, UV exposure, lack of sleep, and chronic inflammation, activates enzymes called matrix metalloproteinases, or MMPs. These enzymes break down collagen and elastin in the skin. The more active they are, the more your skin loses its firmness and elasticity. But this isn't just happening on the outside. When collagen breaks down internally, in your joints, bones, and connective tissues, it also impairs your mobility, recovery, and even your posture. These are the subtle signs of aging that we feel before we see. Stiffness in the morning, slower healing, fatigue from standing or walking too long. What's happening in your brain is also critical. A 2018 study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that collagen degradation is linked to brain aging, particularly in regions involved with motor control and executive function. In other words, your collagen status affects not just your appearance, but your coordination, reaction time, and clarity of thought. So how do we protect it? Your body can make collagen on its own, but it needs the right raw materials, amino acids like glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, cofactors like vitamin C, zinc, and copper, and signaling compounds that suppress MMPs and support fibroblast activity, which are the cells that actually produce collagen. This is where diet becomes not just fuel, but a protocol. Certain nuts and seeds are rich in exactly the nutrients your body needs to build and preserve collagen. They contain anti-inflammatory compounds that block the enzymes breaking it down, trace minerals that trigger synthesis, and phytonutrients that regulate the hormones involved in skin repair. The takeaway is this: collagen loss is not inevitable. It's negotiable. By understanding what accelerates it and what supports it, you can actually retrain your body to build stronger tissue, regenerate faster, and age in a way that's not just about looking better, but moving, feeling, and thinking better too. And that begins with the right foods. Now we'll look at one of the most powerful and underestimated nuts for this exact purpose, the walnut. Its ability to preserve collagen lies in its dual role as both an antihemitor and an antioxidant powerhouse. If there's one nut that earns its place as a skin-supporting superfood, it's the walnut. At first glance, walnuts are known for their brain shape and brain benefits, rich in omega-3 fatty acids, antioxidants, and polyphenols. But what's often overlooked is how these same compounds intervene directly in the aging process by preserving collagen and suppressing the enzymes that break it down. Let's start with omega-3s, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. Walnuts are the richest tree nut source of ALA, and ALA is a precursor to EPA and DHA, the anti-inflammatory fatty acids found in fish. While conversion rates from ALA are modest, what's powerful is this: even ALA on its own reduces inflammatory signaling. Chronic low-grade inflammation driven by cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha is one of the leading triggers of collagen degradation. A 2020 study in Nutrients found that regular walnut consumption significantly decreased markers of systemic inflammation and oxidative stress in older adults. These are two key accelerators of MMP enzyme activity, the enzymes that break down collagen. So by lowering these inflammatory markers, walnuts indirectly protect the integrity of collagen structures in skin, joints, and connective tissue. But that's not all. Walnuts are also rich in ellagic acid, a polyphenol that has been shown to protect fibroblast cells, the very cells responsible for collagen synthesis. In fact, studies in dermatological nutrition have linked polyphenol-rich diets to enhance skin thickness and elasticity, even in middle-aged populations. So what's the protocol? A simple tool to apply is this: 1 ounce, about 14 walnut halves per day, ideally consumed in the afternoon or early evening. Why? Because walnuts also contain melatonin, and consuming them later in the day may support not only collagen, but sleep-driven repair processes. Remember, collagen synthesis peaks during deep sleep when growth hormone levels rise. For best results, eat them raw or lightly toasted, not roasted in seed oils. Pair them with a source of vitamin C like bell peppers or berries to enhance collagen formation. Avoid combining them with high-sugar foods, which can trigger glycation, a process that stiffens and weakens collagen fibers. And here's a small mindset shift. Every time you reach for a walnut, think beyond the snack. You're activating a cellular defense system, calming inflammation, feeding your fibroblasts, and preserving the structural proteins that make you move, look, and feel younger. If this insight is helping you, consider subscribing. There's more where this came from. This channel is all about equipping you with grounded, science-backed tools to strengthen your body and brain. When we talk about collagen, we usually focus on proteins and antioxidants. But there's a crucial and often forgotten layer to this story: minerals. Minerals are the molecular keys that unlock hundreds of biochemical pathways in the body. And when it comes to collagen, 2 minerals play starring roles: zinc and magnesium. That's where pumpkin seeds come in. Pumpkin seeds, or pepitas, are a nutritional powerhouse packed with zinc, one of the most essential trace elements for skin health. Zinc is a cofactor for collagenase, an enzyme required not only for collagen synthesis, but for remodeling, the process that ensures new, healthy collagen replaces damaged strands. Without zinc, collagen structures become weak, disorganized, and more vulnerable to breakdown. In fact, a study published in Biomolecules 2020 found that zinc deficiency was directly associated with impaired fibroblast activity, delayed wound healing, and reduced skin elasticity in both animals and humans. But zinc doesn't work alone. Pumpkin seeds are also rich in magnesium, which supports over 300 enzymatic reactions, including those involved in DNA repair, stress regulation, and inflammation control. One of magnesium's most critical roles in the collagen story is its ability to lower cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. Why does that matter? Because chronic cortisol elevation inhibits collagen production by downregulating TGF-beta, a growth factor essential for skin repair. Let's make that practical. If you're under chronic stress from work, lack of sleep, or even excessive training, your collagen production is being suppressed in the background every single day. Pumpkin seeds provide a natural, food-based way to help correct that by reducing cortisol, restoring mineral balance, and reactivating skin regeneration pathways. Here's a simple protocol you can use. 2 tablespoons of raw shelled pumpkin seeds per day, ideally in the morning or as part of a midday meal. Combine them with foods rich in vitamin B6, like bananas or spinach, which enhances magnesium absorption. Rotate with other zinc-rich foods every few weeks, like oysters or chickpeas, to avoid mineral imbalance. And here's something deeper to consider. Zinc also plays a role in mental clarity and emotional regulation. So when you nourish your body with pumpkin seeds, you're not just feeding your skin, you're reinforcing a neurochemical foundation for better mood, better focus, and better resilience. Have you noticed how your skin sometimes looks dull or less elastic during periods of high stress or poor sleep? That's not just in your head. It's the mineral, cortisol, collagen triad in action. This is why real anti-aging is never just skin deep. It's biochemical, behavioral, and deeply hormonal. And the good news is, it's reversible. Small daily interventions, like pumpkin seeds, become compound investments in your body's ability to restore itself. Now we'll explore a lesser-known but highly potent seed, sesame. What makes sesame seeds unique is their ability to influence skin hydration, estrogen pathways, and oxidative resilience, especially important during hormonal transitions like perimenopause and beyond. If this resonates with you, subscribe and join the growing community that's using food, neuroscience, and smart habits to build a better, stronger, younger body from the inside out. Of all the foods that influence skin and aging, sesame seeds might be the most underestimated. They don't carry the flashy marketing of superfoods, but what they do carry is a concentrated dose of lignans, plant compounds that modulate hormones, reduce oxidative stress, and indirectly preserve collagen. And this is especially relevant for women entering midlife when estrogen levels begin to decline, a process closely tied to accelerated skin aging. Let's break this down. Estrogen plays a crucial role in maintaining skin structure. It supports fibroblast activity, increases skin thickness, enhances moisture retention, and boosts collagen synthesis. But as estrogen drops, particularly during perimenopause and menopause, skin begins to lose its elasticity and hydration, and the rate of collagen loss spikes dramatically. Some studies show up to a 30% reduction in skin collagen within the first 5 years after menopause. This is where sesame seeds come in. Sesame seeds are uniquely rich in lignans like sesamin and sesamolan, which are known as phytoestrogens, plant-based compounds that can bind to estrogen receptors and gently mimic the hormone's effects. Unlike synthetic estrogens, these plant compounds offer a modulating effect. They don't flood the system, but instead help stabilize hormone-sensitive processes like skin hydration and collagen regulation. One study published in the Journal of Nutritional Science and Vitaminology found that postmenopausal women who consumed sesame seed powder daily for 5 weeks saw significant increases in serum antioxidant status and improvements in skin moisture and suppleness. And it gets better. Sesame seeds are also packed with vitamin E, copper, and selenium, all of which play a role in reducing oxidative stress. This matters because oxidative stress doesn't just break down collagen, it creates a pro-inflammatory loop that blocks your skin's ability to regenerate. Here's a simple protocol to try. 1 tablespoon of raw or lightly toasted sesame seeds per day, added to smoothies, sprinkled on salads, or even mixed with tahini for enhanced effect. Pair them with cruciferous vegetables like broccoli or cabbage. These help the liver metabolize estrogen efficiently, reducing the risk of hormonal imbalances. Rotate with flax seeds every 2 to 3 weeks for a broader spectrum of lignans. Now, you might be wondering, do men benefit from sesame seeds too? Absolutely. While men don't experience the same hormonal shifts, phytoestrogens in moderate amounts have been shown to reduce inflammation, support vascular health, and enhance skin hydration without disrupting testosterone. In fact, some studies suggest lignans can improve cholesterol balance and reduce oxidative damage in men, both of which play indirect roles in aging. And here's something worth reflecting on. Your skin isn't just a surface. It's a reflection of your internal stability. When your hormones, micronutrients, and inflammation levels are in harmony, your skin responds by appearing stronger, clearer, and more youthful. So next time you see sesame seeds, don't dismiss them as garnish. See them as a smart, science-backed intervention for whole body rejuvenation. Now, we'll take a closer look at a hidden driver of collagen loss, chronic inflammation, and stress, and how to rewire your nervous system to support skin and joint regeneration through lifestyle protocols that complement your nutritional choices. You can eat all the right foods, but if your body is stuck in a chronic stress loop, collagen will still decline. Let's talk about the hidden enemy, inflammation, especially when it's driven by long-term psychological or physiological stress. Collagen doesn't just break down because of age. It breaks down because our internal environment becomes hostile to regeneration. Here's what the research shows. Elevated cortisol, your body's main stress hormone, suppresses fibroblast activity, reduces the synthesis of key collagen amino acids like proline and glycine, and increases levels of matrix metalloproteinases, MMPs, those destructive enzymes we discussed earlier. This creates a double hit. You make less collagen and break down more of what you already have. And this isn't just theoretical. A 2014 study in the Journal of Investigative Dermatology showed that individuals with higher baseline stress had significantly reduced skin barrier function and collagen density. Even when controlling for age and lifestyle, their skin literally aged faster under emotional pressure. But the story doesn't stop at the skin. Chronic stress rewires the brain through a process called neuroinflammation, particularly in regions like the hypothalamus and amygdala. When inflammation becomes chronic, your autonomic nervous system shifts into a sympathetic dominant state, better known as fight or flight. In this state, your body prioritizes short-term survival over long-term repair. Collagen, being a repair protein, gets deprioritized. So how do we flip the switch? One of the most powerful and scientifically validated tools is nasal breathing combined with slow exhales. Studies from Stanford and the University of California have shown that breathwork practices, especially those that extend the exhale, reduce sympathetic tone and increase parasympathetic activity. This activates the vagus nerve and restores a state where your body is more focused on regeneration than protection. Here's a simple protocol. Try the 4-7-8 breath before meals or sleep. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Do this for 3 rounds, 2 to 3 times a day. After just 7 to 10 days, you'll begin to see measurable reductions in baseline stress. And over time, this supports improved collagen retention and skin health. Another tool, consistent sleep, particularly between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. when human growth hormone, HGH, peaks. HGH directly stimulates collagen production. Missing this window repeatedly over weeks and months adds up to slower repair, thinner skin, and increased joint stiffness. Let's not forget emotional regulation. Chronic resentment, anxiety, or internal conflict elevates cortisol just as much as physical stress. This is why tools like journaling, mindful walking, or even talking to someone you trust aren't just psychological hygiene. They're biochemical levers for anti-aging. Ask yourself, when was the last time you created space for stillness in your day? Do you breathe reactively or consciously? Are you nourishing your nervous system with calm or exhausting it with tension? This matters because real collagen regeneration is not just about adding nutrients. It's about removing the internal blocks that suppress the body's natural repair systems. In the final section, we'll tie it all together with a simple daily protocol, combining these anti-aging nuts and seeds into an actionable rhythm that supports collagen, calms inflammation, and becomes a sustainable part of your long-term vitality strategy. By now, you've seen that nuts and seeds are not just snacks. They're molecular interventions. They influence collagen, hormonal balance, inflammation, and even how your skin responds to aging. But to translate this knowledge into results, the key is consistency. Building a daily protocol that fits your life, aligns with your biology, and supports your body's natural regeneration rhythms. So here's how you can apply everything we've covered in one integrated, science-backed ritual. Morning, to set the hormonal tone. Start your day with 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds, ideally within the first 2 hours of waking. Pair with a high-protein breakfast and a source of vitamin B6 like spinach or banana. This delivers zinc and magnesium to support early-day cortisol regulation and prime your body for collagen synthesis. You'll also reduce morning inflammation, which often peaks after poor sleep. Want an extra boost? Add a cup of green tea. It's rich in catechins that synergize with zinc to protect collagen. Midday, to reinforce antioxidant defenses, add 1 tablespoon of sesame seeds to your lunch. Combine with cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cabbage, or kale to support healthy estrogen metabolism. Use sesame tahini as a dressing or sprinkle raw seeds over your meal. This midday lignin boost helps modulate hormones, sustain hydration, and deliver vitamin E and selenium, both critical for collagen integrity and skin moisture. Evening, to support sleep-driven repair, consume 1 ounce of walnuts in the late afternoon or early evening, ideally 1 to 2 hours before dinner. Walnuts provide melatonin, omega-3s, and polyphenols to reduce oxidative stress and prepare the brain and body for rest. They align with the body's natural collagen synthesis window, which peaks during deep sleep. Pro tip: pair your walnut intake with a source of vitamin C, like a small citrus fruit or some red bell pepper slices, to aid collagen cross-linking and improve the stability of new collagen fibers. Weekly rotation strategy: every 3 to 4 weeks, rotate pumpkin or sesame seeds with alternatives like flax seeds or sunflower seeds to diversify your micronutrient intake. This mimics dietary variety and prevents overaccumulation of specific compounds. Bonus to collagen is built-in stillness layer. In breathwork or a short meditation after your evening meal, even 5 minutes of slow nasal breathing can shift your nervous system into a collagen-building state by reducing cortisol and boosting parasympathetic activity. What you're doing here isn't just improving your skin. You're reinforcing a rhythm, syncing your food, breath, and daily behaviors with the biological clock that governs repair and resilience. Most people chase collagen through creams and powders, but you're using science, working with your body, not against it. You're creating a system where collagen becomes a byproduct of how you live, not just what you buy. Up next, we'll wrap up everything you've learned, revisit the key science, and leave you with one challenge to implement today, because real transformation begins with action. Let's take a moment to reflect. Collagen isn't just a protein. It's a signal, a marker of how well your body is holding up under the demands of life, physically, hormonally, neurologically. And while most people think collagen loss is something that just happens with age, the science tells a different story. What happens to your skin, your joints, and your connective tissues is highly influenced by behavioral choices, by what you eat, how you breathe, how you rest, and how you recover. You've now learned about 3 anti-aging powerhouses: walnuts, packed with omega-3s and antioxidants, protect collagen from oxidative damage, and support sleep-based repair. Pumpkin seeds, rich in zinc and magnesium, enhance collagen synthesis and help regulate the hormonal balance needed for skin regeneration. Sesame seeds, with their lignans and vitamin E, support estrogen modulation and hydration, key factors in maintaining collagen density and skin elasticity. But beyond the nutrients, you've learned how daily rhythm matters. What you eat in the morning influences cortisol. What you breathe at night influences regeneration. And what you do consistently creates the conditions for youthful skin, stronger joints, and even better mental clarity. So if you take one thing from today's talk, let it be this: you have more control over how you age than you've been told. You don't need to overhaul your diet or stack 20 supplements. You need targeted, science-informed habits that create a cascade of positive effects at the cellular level. 1 tablespoon of seeds, 1 ounce of nuts, 1 breathing session, repeated daily. That's the protocol. Aging isn't the problem, premature aging is. And your biology is more adaptable than you think. So here's your challenge for today. Choose one of these collagen-supporting foods: walnuts, pumpkin seeds, or sesame, and commit to integrating it into your day. Just one. Start there, feel the difference, then build the rhythm. And if this content is helping you reclaim your body, mind, and energy with science-backed tools, I invite you to be part of this growing community. Like this video, comment below with your biggest takeaway, and subscribe if you want more grounded, empowering health strategies that actually work. This channel is for people who don't want hype, they want truth, tools, and transformation. So let's keep growing together, one smart, science-based habit at a time.